Right now, your timeline is probably completely flooded with these viral set photos. You know the ones. They're claiming to show our absolute favorite heroes finally teaming up for the next massive Marvel event. But honestly, here's the multi-million-dollar question we need to ask. Are these actually genuine clues giving us a sneak peek into the future? Or are they just AI-generated mirages totally playing tricks on our eyes?
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're putting on our detective hats to break down the latest and, frankly, most massive leaks surrounding Avengers Doomsday. We've got a ton of ground to cover today, from literal universe-ending stakes in those alleged set photos, all the way down to some very real and very intense behind-the-scenes studio drama. So, let's use the source material to finally separate the facts from the digital fiction.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, the X-Men's desperate multiverse stakes. 2, decoding those AI-enhanced set leaks. 3, Doomsday trailer screen time. And 4, Super Hulk and the real-world fallout.
All right, Section 1, the X-Men's desperate multiverse stakes.
So the core threat driving all of this is an incursion. For those who might need a quick refresher, an incursion is the catastrophic collision of two separate universes within the multiverse. It is a terrifying event that basically threatens the existence of both realities. This is literally the ultimate ticking clock. We aren't just talking about a city or a planet being at risk here. It's entire dimensions. We have to keep this incredibly desperate survival motive in the back of our minds when we look at these leaked plot points. Which brings us to an absolute bombshell of a rumor sourced from a massive Reddit plot leak. Get this. According to the leak, to survive an incursion, the X-Men will actually attack Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe just to save their own. I mean, just think about the gravity of that for a second. We are talking about beloved heroes being forced into a corner where they have to destroy another beloved universe just to survive. The leak even goes on to suggest that at the very end of this devastating conflict, the Time Variance Authority, the TVA, will step in and actually pull Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man out. It sets up a huge, incredibly high-stakes opening sequence.
Moving right along to Section 2, decoding those AI-enhanced set leaks.
Now, you've probably seen these viral images going around. They claim to show Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and Deadpool all together on set. At first glance, you might totally just dismiss them, but the source material highlights something really important. Trusted industry insiders are actually backing them up. A Twitter account named Yellow Minutes shared the leaks first, and incredibly, another super prominent insider known as My Time to Shine Hello, who, by the way, has a really strong track record of getting things right, reposted it. They explicitly stated they believe the photos are real. So we've got some major insider weight giving these images some serious credibility.
But hang on, here is where we have to be really careful. The reasons to believe are definitely strong because those insiders rarely miss, but the reasons to doubt, they are fascinating. The source points out that Yellow Minutes actually has a bit of a history of taking low-quality but legitimate leaked photos and using AI to enhance them. The problem with that? Well, AI hallucinations. If you look really closely at Wolverine's supposedly brand new Doomsday suit in these leaks, the AI has seemingly drawn in bullet holes that are directly copied from internet data of the recent Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Those absolutely shouldn't be there on a fresh suit. So it's totally possible the underlying photo is a real leak of a scene, but the AI enhancement completely blurs the line, degrading the perceived quality and making the actual truth incredibly hard to clearly see.
Okay, Section 3, Doomsday trailer screen time. Let's shift gears and look at some actual predicted data shared by the Direct regarding the highly anticipated Doomsday trailer. We have the predicted top 3 spots for trailer screen time right here. Thor takes the number 1 spot, followed very closely by the villain himself, Dr. Doom, and rounding out the 3rd spot is Steve Rogers. This data strongly indicates to us that Thor and Steve Rogers are going to be the central narrative players stepping up to go against Doom in this film.
But the list certainly doesn't stop there. We also have a massive roster of secondary characters predicted to make an appearance. We're talking Shuri, Sam Wilson's Captain America, Professor X, Shang-Chi, Yelena, Bucky, and so many more. However, the source material points out something honestly very surprising. Given that Reed Richards and Dr. Doom have this deep, personal rivalry dating all the way back to their college days, you'd think Reed would be heavily featured front and center, right? Yet, he seems totally relegated to secondary status in this initial trailer data. It's a fascinating choice by the studio that leaves us all wondering exactly how their history is going to be handled in the actual movie.
And that brings us to Section 4, Super Hulk and real-world fallout.
Seriously, brace yourselves for this one. According to a Spider-Man Brand New Day leak, Bruce Banner is apparently stepping out as Super Hulk. The description here is incredibly high energy. It says he is the ultimate green machine, he is absolutely not holding back, and he is ready to tackle every single creature in his path. The source suggests he isn't just going to be fighting Spider-Man either. This version of Hulk is completely unchained and expected to take on multiple villains in just a purely unstoppable mode. The Beast is truly back, folks.
Now, as we pivot from those exciting on-screen battles, we have to look at a pretty sobering real-world metric: 1,000. That is the exact number of visual development employees recently fired by Disney.
The crucial point we have to remember is that building these massive multiversal stories requires immense human labor, and this massive layoff has understandably sparked some serious industry outrage. Evangeline Lilly, who plays the Wasp in the MCU, released a video with a very strong reaction to the news. She stated, quote, "This is disgusting and horrible. I stand with all the artists." She really highlighted the tragedy of firing the very people who essentially spent their lives building the Marvel empire. The source even speculates whether this intense studio tension might end up impacting her willingness to appear in upcoming films like Secret Wars.
And the strong industry opinions definitely don't stop there. Marking the 12th anniversary of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Invincible director Robert Kirkman went on a podcast and explosively called the movie, quote, "dog shit." Now, our source material impartially notes that while the movie absolutely has its flaws, Kirkman's heavy words kind of ignore the incredible CGI, the amazing web swinging, and the deeply emotional family and romantic dynamics with Gwen Stacy that the film actually achieved. It's just a stark reminder of how aggressively divided opinions can be in this space, regardless of which side you land on.
Let's wrap things up on a slightly lighter note. Consider this original release date for a second. Avengers Doomsday was originally slated to drop on May 1st, 2026, before it got pushed all the way back to December 18th. The source makes a really great little joke here. Because we are literally dealing with the multiverse saga, there is a very real chance that in some alternate universe out there, the movie actually did release on May 1st, and someone is sitting in a theater eating popcorn and watching it right now, instead of waiting until December like the rest of us.
Which brings us to our final thought for the day. As AI continues to heavily blur the line between real legitimate set leaks and hallucinated fake hype, we really have to ask ourselves, are the true universe-ending stakes happening on the movie screen with the X-Men, or are they happening right now in the very real industry turmoil and AI disruption within the studios themselves? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning what you see out there, and I'll catch you next time.